Hey guys, welcome back to Bonsai Crazy. This is your ultimate beginner's guide to juniper bonsai. How to grow them on, how to grow branches, assessing the health of your tree, and just basic guidance of juniper bonsai. Today we'll be taking a look at my juniper bonsai, two of which were purchased from Herons Bonsai last year. We'll be taking a look at each one and assessing where they are in their development. After having met Peter last year for my birthday, I purchased these two trees and I vowed to myself that I would learn as much as I could about juniper before I touched his tree. So this is my ultimate guide to junipers. So first, let's get to the easy stuff. Repotting should be done in spring or autumn. Gin and shari work and hard bending should be done in the autumn. Wiring can be done throughout the year, but is best done in the autumn. Pinching out and cleaning can be done all year round or when necessary. Just don't do too much at any one time. Now, before we start to assess our trees, we first need to know which category our trees fall under. Now, all junipers fall under one of two categories: the mounding juniper and the running juniper. Now take this precumbans nana for an instance. It falls under the category of a mounding juniper. Then you have a Chinensis and a Blaaws and Sargents and your Itowgawas. They all generally fall under a running juniper, though some Itowgowas do fall under both categories. These are just some of the species of juniper. All junipers, no matter what, will all fall under the one of the two categories: the running juniper or the mounding juniper. Okay, so what do I mean by a running juniper and a mounding juniper? Take this precumbans nana for instance. Now, if I wanted a branch out here or out here, then first I would let the tree mound its petals all along here. What you'll see is over a year or two is you will find it will mound up and really bulk out around this area here, and then all of a sudden it will just shoot out a long branch, and that's the branch you're going to be wanting to use. Now with a running juniper, what happens first is the branch will run out first, and then later on it will mound back. And then what you can do is you can snip back to where you want the branch to start, your two main branches, and carry on from there. But with a mounding juniper, it will mound first and then it will shoot out a big branch, whereas a running juniper will run first and then it will build back foliage closer to the trunk. Now this is a very important lesson to learn, especially when you're dealing with junipers. Not a lot of people know that information, and it really does help you to understand your tree, understand when and what time and why you should be trimming your tree. Now, I trimmed this tree last year and I did an initial styling. My wiring was very, very bad, but it did take a little bit. I have taken the wire off it this year because I want it to start growing again. I want this tree to start thickening up and giving me the pads that I need. So I'm going to wait for this tree to start mounding up, sending out the shoots, and then I can cut back, and I know that the tree is going to be in good health when I cut this tree and start trimming it and restyling it. So this is my Chinese juniper. I believe it's a Blaaws. I got it from Peter at Herons Bonsai last year. I'm not going to do any work on the trees. I just wanted to explain each one and where they are in their development. Young Blaaws juniper should be potted every 2 years. So as I don't know when this was last potted, I'm not going to do any repot. The way we know when it's time to repot in the spring is you will just begin to see a slight colour change in the tips of your tree. they start going a tiny bit yellow from the pale green that they are. And then as soon as you notice that, it's probably a little bit too late, but then you should go. So in springtime, it's a very, very short window. Keep an eye on your trees. Assess when they start turning that yellow, and then it's time to repot. When you do repot, just make sure you don't take off any more than half of the roots. They really don't like their roots being messed about with. So only take off half when you do a repot to a quarter, especially in the autumn time. Make sure you don't take any more than half off, and just remember that you have to get it through the winter, and it really does need those roots. When you're assessing your roots, the first thing you should check for is how much moisture is in the pot. Too much moisture is not a good thing. It means you're getting too much water in there and the drainage is not right. You're also checking for your root growth. Healthy roots should be a creamy white colour, not a dark brown or black and soggy. You're also checking for insects, grubs, or anything out of the ordinary. It's very important that your tree should have some mycelium. Mycelium is a beneficial fungi and is a good sign of health in your tree. So this tree, all I'm going to do to this tree this year is take off the wire, because it's been on for about 7 months, 8 months. So I'm just going to take the wire off, let the tree grow out, and then we can cut back. I do believe Blaaws is a running juniper, but I have yet to find that out for myself. So that's why I'm waiting another year to see what it actually does. But I do believe it's a running juniper, so it'll run first and then mound back. So that's what I'm waiting for. So finally we come to my Chinensis juniper. This was purchased from a garden nursery, and as you can see, this is juvenile foliage and this is adult foliage. And I just wanted to show you the difference. There is quite a clear difference between the two. And this tree is growing really, really well. I'm really pleased with it. It is a running juniper, so it should run first before it develops all the foliage back. Then I can cut it back. I can't stress enough how important this information is, especially to beginners. It really does help you understand when, where, and why you should be cutting your trees. So there we go, guys. There's my quick 5-minute guide on junipers. All you need to know as a beginner. Really helpful information, I hope, for you. Something I've learnt because I've vowed to myself that I would learn all I could about these juniper before I touch them. So all I'm going to actually do to this is take off the wire, and that'll be it for this year. And then maybe next year I'll go back to Peter and I'll say, look, Peter, can you give me a little lesson? And hopefully he'll oblige me. That'll be really nice. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and definitely like the video, because that really sends it out there to people, and that is a real bonus to me, really. So please hit that like button, and if you're new, subscribe and follow my craziness throughout the years. Cheers, guys. I'll see you later. Ta-da.